we're gonna learn about safety glasses. So, or called eye protection. So there is a lot of different products on the market, and proper eye protection should meet CSA standard Z 94.3. So there's 5 materials that safety glasses can be made of, which include um, glass. So do not wear safety glasses made out of glass because it doesn't work, and even a tiny scratch will destroy the glasses. So we can use plastic, high-vex, tri-vex, or polycarbonate. And all of these have ability, they're quite light and they're resistant to impacts. So like a flying object, it won't break it. And they can be UV resistant and they can also be scratch resistant. And then second, you must have, one of those things is a full face respirator. So a respirator with eye protection is eye protection, and the face part of the respirator must meet the Z94 standard, and impact resistance should meet ANSI standard Z87. Flame resistant clothing, also known as FRC, is they look like the blue coveralls basically, and you should wear them if there's a risk of a fire or an explosion. Now, if you're butt naked under your coveralls, that's good. If you're wearing like polyester, then it's possible that you get the fire in under your coveralls, and then the clothing on your skin burns, even though and all the fire is trapped inside. Even though the fire-resistant clothing is does not burn. So the if you're wearing polyester or nylon, it could burn and melt or stick to your skin. So you want to wear something like wool or cotton. You should also have foot protection like safety boots. Now, some places, sometimes you go to visit a warehouse and they give you these rubber covers and they never fit my feet because I'm a size 12. They're kind of stupid. They don't work. They got like 1 inch of foot protection and they never fit. So you want to wear steel toe boots, and you could get some really lightweight stuff. And I should say steel toe, but it doesn't have to be steel. They're making boots out of all kinds of material now that are impact resistant. So stuff falling on the top of your foot is not the only thing to think about. You should also think about slips, ankle protection, temperatures, electric shock. If you know, so some of these boots, if you're standing in a pool of water, for example, and there's um, a short circuit into the water, or there's uh, I was doing a job and a pipe burst in a electrical room, so that that um, there wasn't any electricity in the water, but there could have been. If you're standing in a puddle of water and there's an electric shock, then you definitely want to have shoes that can protect you against that. You also want to be protected against temperature, corrosive substances, and puncture. And then your head. So CSA standard Z94 for headwear. You want to have a hard hat, and then you also want to have hearing protection. So on this chart, we know how long you can be exposed to noise. So at 82 decibels, you can be exposed for 16 hours without any damage to your ears. Now, most people don't work 16 hours. At 94 decibels, you can only be exposed for 1 hour. At 100 decibels, you can only be exposed for 15 minutes. So, right here around the 82 mark, this is kind of where you want to be wearing ear protection. See, at 115 decibels, you go deaf instantly. So think about who's going to wear it, compatibility, workplace conditions, comfort, ease of use, and impact on the ability to communicate. So uh, when a noise is above 85, we want to try and reduce the noise to below 85. So if we could have an engineered control, that would be great. But if we can't, some stuff is noisy. Sometimes even like using a hammer can generate a noise depending on the material. And then you must put a warning sign where there's noise levels above 85, and then if it's above 105, you must have two forms of hearing protection, so earplugs and ear muffs. Now, very few people need a life jacket, but if you're on a boat, you must wear a life jacket. So it must meet CGSB standard 65.7. And now, I remember this from swimming class, but a life jacket and a personal flotation device are different. So the life jacket keeps you face up in the water if you become unconscious, whereas a personal flotation device won't flip you over. So it's more comfortable to wear and you're allowed to wear it, but if you're working on a boat, your employer must provide you with a life jacket. And you're better off wearing a life jacket because usually you don't end up in the water by accident. Like somebody hits you in the head and then you end up in the water and you're probably unconscious. So if you're unconscious and you're face down in the water, you're not going to live very long. And then we got what we call limb protection. So you can see this guy, he's wearing a hard hat, goggles, hood with a respirator, coveralls, gloves. These look like chemical resistant gloves and chemical resistant boots. So he looks like he's going to work somewhere where there's a lot of toxic chemicals. Now, if you are exposed to contaminants or you have an area with biohazards or low oxygen, then you must wear respiratory protective equipment, and that could include a respirator, scuba, a particulate filter, or a chemical cartridge. Any questions, please leave a comment.